It's midnight in a Chicago office tower. The last few executives are heading to the parking garage, and as they leave, Ethan walks in to start his shift as a janitor. Ethan spent his nights cleaning the offices of people he never actually spoke to. He moved through the building in a state of total invisibility, separated from the decision-makers by a gap in income and status that usually takes generations to close. Years later, Ethan returned to this same building to give a keynote address. He was no longer there to clean the floors. He had been invited to speak to a room full of entrepreneurs. It's tempting to call this a stroke of luck or a one-in-a-million break, but the shift happened because Ethan began building a skill stack, a specific combination of high-value capabilities that most people never think to pair together. His transition suggests that reaching this level of success isn't a miracle. It's what happens when you spend years accumulating skills that the market actually rewards. The process started with a habit of observation. While most of his peers focused on the task in front of them, Ethan started looking at the habits of the people who owned the desks he was dusting. He noticed a pattern. The executives who stayed late were almost always carrying books as they left for the night. During a break one evening, he found a discarded business book in a trash bin. Instead of his usual routine, he started reading. This was a deliberate pivot. He chose to spend his downtime on a high-effort task like learning business theory rather than the low-effort distraction of his phone. He then scaled this into habit 3. Ethan realized that while his hands were busy mopping, his mind was free. He layered a second axis of activity onto his shift, streaming courses and podcasts. Over a year, he logged hundreds of hours of education in marketing and sales while technically on the clock for manual labor. He was effectively being paid to go to school, using the time most people consider dead to build a foundation of knowledge. Even with all that learning, nothing changed immediately. Ethan entered what researchers call the Valley of Disappointment, a period where effort is high but visible results remain at 0. This phase lasted 3 years. He was mocked by friends for trying too hard and continued struggling with rent. The hardest part of any major change isn't the work itself. It's the ability to keep going when there is no external evidence that your effort is going to pay off. Eventually, he moved from consumption to execution. He used his nights to launch a small online marketing service from his apartment, applying the principles of client acquisition he'd heard in his podcasts. Growth was slow at first. He landed 1 client, then 5. But as those clients saw results, word spread. The momentum began to build, and 50 clients soon followed. All the hours he spent listening to lectures while mopping were just potential energy. They only became valuable when he finally started the work of building a business. When Ethan finally stepped onto that stage in Chicago, he was looking at a building he knew from the ground up. He told the entrepreneurs in the room that your current job doesn't decide your future. It only provides the environment where you choose to grow or stay still. His story shows that a life can be completely redirected by using the hours that most people throw away to accumulate a stack of specialized skills. Everyone has invisible hours, like the daily commutes, the routine household chores, or just the downtime. The question is whether you're using that time to build something or just to pass the day. Because while anyone can have an ambition, the reality is that the dream is free, but the hustle is sold separately.